Now, friends, I just said what we said before. We said Hezbollah hit the Israeli city of Haifa with missiles. There are images, hot images. Let's bring them to our screens immediately. Let's take a look at the details. Hezbollah announced that it launched a missile salvo in the evening against Israel's airstrikes on the southern Baths, especially the Lebanese capital Beirut. And it was also reported that cells fell on many points, especially in the city of Haifa in northern Israel. Now, according to the information coming to us, 2 people were injured. Mr. Ramadan, let's take it like this. Let's revitalize a little bit. What do you think this attack by Hezbollah foreshadows?
We can express something like this. While Israel wants to strengthen its hand on the ground, Hezbollah is also resisting at this point because Trump's messages during the election process were as follows. He said that he would stop the wars, and when he did, the news and comments in the Western press, both in the American and Western press, were as follows. Israel is preparing for a period of non-conflict by creating a security corridor for itself. Where? In Lebanon. There is an allegation that Israel is making such a preparation. This could be the case, and it seems that a similar situation is on the agenda in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine. Israel is trying to create a corridor in terms of its own discourse, in terms of its own claims, and Hezbollah is resisting this. And on January 20th, 2025, President Trump will officially take office, and until then, everyone is trying to strengthen their hand, and this is one of them.
One of them is one of them now. Maybe we can listen to it in audio, friends. There is no sound. Okay, great. Among the information coming in, there is a very intense panic in the region. Israeli citizens are also running towards shelters. IPEC, would you like to say something?
Of course, Israel was actually trying to tie Hezbollah's hands in every way. It killed important leaders of Hezbollah, but when you look at it, it cannot succeed in land operations. In other words, it cannot do what it wants to do on the ground. That's why it constantly bombed and hit Lebanon from the air without discriminating between civilians and soldiers. It also killed civilians there. In particular, it is trying to turn Lebanon into a small Gaza and is now committing the same genocide in Lebanon as it did in Gaza. Of course, the US is not idle either. The US is trying to change the government of Lebanon, and they are trying to establish a Christian-dominated government structure. They actually saw Hezbollah as an easy target, but they failed to achieve what they wanted. Yeah, they killed their leaders, they killed their deputies, they killed the most important commanders, but they could not break the resistance. Just as they could not finish Hamas in Gaza, they cannot finish Hezbollah here. And Hezbollah responds to Israel whenever it has the opportunity. Now, this is important. Of course, we are friends with Israel. We are friends with everyone. We are not enemies with anyone. But we are not going to create your own fear. And now, Israel has its own people living in its territory. On one side, you killed civilians, massacred innocent people, committed genocide. Now, Hezbollah is inflicting the same fear on your people. Can we say that the hand has increased with these images? Yes, we can say that because the subtitle that you mentioned is important. They say that the Israelis are running to the shelters. We know that they are very confident in the Iron Kube, the David slingshot, and other air defense systems. But it seems that Hezbollah has managed to break them as well. What you say is very true. They raised their hands. I think the same way.